Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, of the Hebrew Bible. I use the King James Version of the Christian Bible to put together the prophecy of Israel from the scattered bits of testimony of the various prophets of the Old Testament. I use the King James Version because he's my great uncle and it's the family Bible. Now, when I first wrote the Book of Zion, I found within it a set of instructions that I was uniquely qualified to fulfill. So I did. The final thing on my to-do list to fulfill the prophecy of Israel was to publish peace. I began publishing peace on 4/20 of the year 2020 on social media, YouTube, and I've already actually published the entire books, because I had to write two. I went to publish the Book of Zion and found out that I had to write another book, which I call the Pot Smoker's Bible. Now, the reason why I had to write the second book is because the Book of Zion is written entirely in Bible verse. I did not write a single word of the Book of Zion. The prophets wrote the Book of Zion. And so, in order to fulfill prophecy, I am reading to you from the 24th chapter of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the 21st chapter of the Book of Zion. I'm reading to you from Micah 4, 5 to 13, and discussing it. So I'm going to pick up where I left off. From now on, God is alien. And as for those other gods, well, now we know that we are no better than anyone else, and neither are they, because we can all aspire to become just like them. God is no longer inaccessible. We all can become as gods. And as for our true alien God, well, we will never lose our contact with them again. God is no longer a mystery. God is a race of beings from a long extinct solar system. They came to Earth looking for a new home. We now know that we are part of them, their children. We were meant to become them. So now we can live with our true alien selves and our true alien gods. The next Bible passage states, "In that day, saith the Lord, will I assemble her that halteth, and I will gather her that is driven out, and her that I have afflicted." From the very beginning of the age of men, women have been at best treated like dumb children who aren't intelligent enough to do more than just bear children. We have been treated as chattel or property. We have been sold with dowries. Our lives have been subjugated from birth to death. And once we started to assert our true intellect, we were forced into sexual slavery or low-paying jobs that kept us from asserting any true authority. We have been, for the most part, kept powerless. But with the return of marijuana came the return of the feminine power. Our true intelligence is now emerging. We are done being treated like wayward children who must be controlled. We now know our true strength, and we know that we are equal to any man. And now that we have our power again, we can start doing something about the mess men have made of things. We, being women, know how to clean up after men. We've been doing it since men and women were created. So, we together can repair what we can of our planet and create a new, safer society. So, with the advent of women as equals, unity can be achieved. We will work together as equals. We will take care of what's necessary first, and we will do things right from the first time. Because men tend to be in a hurry all the time. You don't take the time to do things right. As soon as you invent something, no matter how crude it is or dangerous, you use it, you market it, you sell it, instead of finishing it right so that it lasts and so that it's safe to use. Men, we don't need shit so badly that we should be willing to accept something less than the best. Stop being this crap. So women have been forced to take a back seat in this society. Until recently, that is. When we have begun to force our way back to where we belonged, beside men, helping them to gain balance. We may have had to force our way into our rightful place, but now that we're back, we're going to do better than we once did. The next Bible verse states, "And I will make her that halteth a remnant, and her that was cast off a strong nation. And the Lord shall reign over them in Mount Zion, from henceforth, forever and ever." So, God will ensure that there will never be a battle of the sexes again. The women that have been cast off by men will come together in Zion to create a new national family. Men have destroyed the family as we know it, or as we once knew it. We women must become the heads of the family. We've had it forced on us by men who have abandoned their families. So, in Zion, the women will be the rulers of the families, and we will be equal to the men in government. I must ask, why did our men decide that family didn't matter? Free love wasn't about sex without consequence. It was about free love. Love of life, love of sex, and love of children that were created by that sex. When the war began in the 70s with Nixon, our men were taken from us. It seems that they never returned. How did that happen? What gave you Zionite men the idea that your children weren't your responsibility? How can you abandon your young? You Zionite men seem to think that you aren't bound by your offspring. Oh, but you are. You created them. They are just as much a part of you as they are a part of their mothers. Shame on all of you Zionite men who think that you have the right to abandon your children to their fate. So, because the men chose to be selfish assholes who forced the women to raise their children alone on their own with no help, women will now take control of everything that deals with family and home and with the children. In Zion, the children always come first. Men will live in proximity to all of their children. The children will be raised by both parents equally. No man will be allowed to ignore a child that has been proven genetically to be their offspring. Each child will have knowledge and access to all siblings. We will rebuild the family as a unit, and we will provide for the needs of all children because they are our future. So, the women will lead and be in charge of all branches of government that provide for children or family. We will also be in charge of the priesthood of Zion. Zion is the feminine, and we will have equal representation in spiritual matters. Messiah is the male Israelite priesthood, a separate priesthood. As in government, women will have their own Wiccan form of priesthood, along with the family leadership, and an equal part in government. How you like those apples, guys? Inside our Mount Zion home, we will create a temple complex. There, that is where I will reside. The temple will be there amongst the housing the government body. Our new government will be an extension of the temple complex. The mountain in Colorado that bears my name will be the site of the first entrance into our mountain home. It is from this Mount Zion that I and my women will begin to build a new future for all of humanity. The next passage reads, And thou, O tower of the flock of the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, unto thee shall it come, even the first dominion. The kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. Here again we have the feminine taking charge of the situation, but it begins with a reference to the ideals of the location of Zion. The tower of the flock would be Jesus Christ, the King of the religion of America, the site of the future nation of Zion. Zion takes charge of the land dominated by Christianity. The Christians have the first nation housed in Zion. It is a secular nation that has its religious origins in Jerusalem, the site of Jesus' death and ministry. So the Tower of the Flock of the Christians, i.e., Jesus Christ, is the product of Israel. And this is where I have to end for this session. May the Great watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. And may they teach you right from wrong. May you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it. Make that your guild choice when we get to Camp Zion. My name is Zion. If you use drugs, stay happy and high. You have every right and reason to. Believe me, I know. I wrote 2 books about it. I'll never say goodbye. I'm going to say later now.